Another thing about history I discovered is that people have actually tried to find out whether the Old Testament discuss the history of man. Actually, we said in the other time that the Old Testament is not a physical historical book. It is a spiritual history of man. And let me emphasize it, and for that, you need to understand that the Old Testament, actually, if you look at it, the genealogies, the historical account given, like the genealogies given, is mentioned to trace the genealogies of the Jews. It was a genealogy of the Jews, and that genealogy was to end in Christ, in the sense that it was a genealogy that God was working in the midst of them to the point of the Christ. So that's to tell you that it was not an exhaustive genealogy of the entire human race. That is why all the nations that are mentioned in the Old Testament are briefly mentioned. You will notice that only the historical account of the Jewish people, or the people that were connected to them, that were their neighbors, are mentioned. You would not find a historical account of the African race. You cannot find historical account of Europeans. You will not find a historical account of Asians like the Chinese. The reason is because the book was not designed to tell man his origin, his physical origin, or to give us an account of human physical origin. That is why people have tried to find out, I have had arguments where people have tried to say that the Africans come from descendants, they are descendants of Ham. You cannot use the Old Testament to prove that Africans are descendants of Ham, because only Cush is mentioned, and Cush is Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is not a representative of all of Africa. So the Old Testament discuss Cush because Cush were neighbors. They are also close to the Middle East. They are close to the Jews. So when they said Cush, they understood who Cush is. When they say Mizraim, they knew who Mizraim is. If they say, oh, the Philistines came from this race, they know who the Philistines were. If they say Canaanites, they knew who Canaanites were. So the origin of humanity discussed, or the genealogies discussed in the Old Testament, is not an exhaustive discussion of human race. It is rather a discussion around the people of God and the genealogy to end in Christ. It is not a physical genealogy. So the Old Testament is not a historical account. We cannot use it to prove that, oh, Africans are descendants of Ham, Europeans are descendants of Japheth, oh, the Middle Eastern people are descendants of Shem. No, it is not designed to give us that kind of impression. It is not designed to give us that kind of idea or assumption. If we are making those assumptions, we are discrediting the records of the Old Testament, and we will find out that we are limited in discussing it in that manner. So the Old Testament doesn't support any racial discussions. It doesn't support that this is where Africa is coming from, this is where Europeans are coming from, this is where Chinese or the Eastern people are coming from. No. But it discusses one important history. And what is that history? The spiritual history of human race. And the spiritual history of human race is the same thing, irrespective of race, irrespective of color, irrespective of skin color, irrespective of location, irrespective of neighborhood, irrespective of any part of the globe you are located. We have one shared spiritual history. All of us, when it comes to the state of our hearts, we are the same. We are the same. It doesn't matter where we're coming from. So if you read the Old Testament and you see that it is not physical history, rather a spiritual history, it will make sense.